Hello, my name is Michael, and I'm 18 years old. I wanted to start this channel to kind of document and talk about my journey with God. Too often I sin, hence the name Sinner. I don't want to seem like a very holy figure because I'm really not. I really struggle with my relationship with God, and I've been trying to figure that out for the past year and a half. So I'm hoping this YouTube channel can be a big step forward for me in that, because I'm really tired of where I am in life, and I know God wants so much more out of me, and I can never give it to him. So I want this to be a good start. When I was younger, all I ever wanted to be was a YouTuber and post on YouTube. So I think it's kind of ironic that my first video is about God. So I hope God's pretty happy about that. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I should have the channel name be, and I eventually settled for Sinner because I don't really want to come off as a very holy person or anything like that, even though I'm talking about God and stuff. But I want to be really open and honest with the way I've sinned and the way I've fallen short. So I want to hold myself accountable and recognize that I am a sinner, and I will be a sinner until I can learn to overcome that. So that's going to be the goal. I'm also super tired of my relationship with God just being like, what can I get out of it? I never really want to go to church on Sundays. I've never enjoyed church. Church has never been fun, and I'm so tired of feeling guilty about that. I really want to fall in love with the Lord and know him in a personal way. I want to be friends with God. I'm so tired of this exchangeful relationship. I want something genuine with God. I'm tired of praying for my own things and just wanting my selfish desires and only praying to God when I need him. I want to be able to talk to God and just have a genuine relationship with him. And I'm currently so far from that, and it really sucks. And I feel guilty about it, to be honest, too. So for the longest time when I was younger, I always thought God's commandments were there to keep me from having fun. There was so much stuff that I wanted to do, so many sins I wanted to indulge in, stuff like that. And I thought following him meant giving up the things I wanted and living less of a life, just so I can go to heaven. It was this exchange we had and stuff like that. But the more I've grown in my faith, the more I realize that that's just simply not true at all. And that God doesn't call us away from sin because he's trying to limit us in any way. He calls us away from sin because he's trying to protect us. These things that we think so highly of and idolize in this world just truly are not all that. They're genuine chains, and we have to learn to realize that. And just like a loving father warns his child not to touch a hot stove, God warns us about sin because he knows where it leads. What fun looks like in the moment often leaves us feeling empty, guilty, addicted, broken, or farther from him. And that might be the most relatable thing I've ever written in my life, because you do it in the moment, it's so much fun and it's amazing, but then next morning, day after, it sucks. You feel so empty, and it's eventually hit me with the realization that these worldly things, they're just so finite and they will disappear, and that our bodies will be here when we die, but where are our souls and stuff like that? And that's what really matters. So God was never ever standing between us and a good life. He's standing between us the things that destroy it. I used to think a good life was just being so rich and all that, but I really had to slow down and realize that it's more about relationships and it's more about the Lord than anything else. So that has been a really hard lesson that I've had to learn. But the devil sells sin as a freedom, that you can do your own thing, make your own choices, but it really does become a chain eventually. God may seem restrictive at first, but his commands actually lead us to peace, joy, and purpose. Something I've been really struggling with. One of the happiest points in my life was when I was super close with God. It wasn't a fixation, but I was definitely super focused on God. Like, I had set times in the day when I'd pray. I finished the Bible, which was the New Testament, not the Old Testament. Old Testament's a hard read. But I did finish the New Testament, and I was really in love with God. And I kind of lost that once I got back in my old ways, my old sins, and that's given me such a sense of guilt that, I once knew you, God, but I chose to go back to the things that you were trying to protect me from. I feel awful about it. It's one of the major reasons I'm starting this channel. So it's something that I'm still learning every day, that following Christ isn't about missing out. It's about trusting that the one who created me knows what will truly satisfy me better than I do. God isn't trying to keep us from what's good. He's trying to keep us from what only looks good. On the surface, all these things seem so amazing, but the reality is, and the truth is, that they're just not. They're worldly things. They'll never actually fulfill you. Once you have it, you'll want something new. And that's been one of the hardest lessons I've ever had to learn in my life. And it's a lesson I have to remind myself every single day. Because I am a sinner, and I will keep on sinning. I think I want to try to post every day. I think that would keep me very centered, what I want, stuff like that. I wish you guys knew how hard it is to get behind the camera and talk about this stuff, to be honest about it. I'm so nervous, like a buddy's going to see this or something, but I don't know. I think God wants me to do it. I prayed about it. I think He wants me to do this, but still trying to figure that out. I don't quite know what kind of content I fully want to post. I might do like a Bible study kind of thing where I read the Bible, see how it applies to my own life and what I can learn from it. Maybe you guys can get something out of that. Maybe just experiences in my own life where I just feel like I've fallen short and stuff like that. I'm still trying to figure it out, so I don't know. Stick around, see where it goes.